Hi, everybody. Most people have the attention about the Ukraine war. And when you think about Ukraine war, you will probably watch what has Russia been doing, what has Ukraine been doing, what has America and the West been doing, right? And not that much attention was put on what has CCP's China doing. This is our main topic today. But before I tell you all the things behind the curtain, don't forget, check your subscription. And of course, at the end, click like if you like it. And welcome to support us through Patreon or PayPal. Now, CCP's China's role behind the curtain in this Ukraine war is very interesting. Not everybody is aware about what they have been doing. First of all, maybe you can recall in the beginning of February, I think it was the 4th of February, there was a Winter Olympic in Beijing, right? The whole world attention was Winter Olympic, where CCP wanted to show the world, we are the greatest country in the world. Yeah? And not everyone aware is the most important honorable VIP guest for the opening ceremony, and that was Putin. But Putin was there the day before. And I tell you, the day before the open ceremony for Putin is much more important than the open ceremony. Why? Well, because the day before, he had hours of secret talk with the CCP's boss, Xi Jinping. While during the opening ceremony, Putin was so tired. Probably he had a lot to think about the whole night. So he very often he fell asleep, or looked like at least fallen asleep during this ceremony. And in the evening of the opening ceremony, there should be a fantastic state banquet, and Putin was absent. Instead, he took his plane and hurried back to Moscow. Why? I tell you why. Because the day before opening ceremony. I mean, the Winter Olympic, it was just a kind of, how should I say it, a kind of curtain to mislead the people, as if, Putin was in Beijing only for the Olympic. No, for him, the important thing is to talk with Xi Jinping. And that's why they signed, before the opening ceremony, they signed a contract called the Unlimited Friendship Treaty, okay? And I'm quite convinced that they talk a lot about the war. I'm sure Xi Jinping knew about the war, that Putin is going to start a war, and he guaranteed Putin all the support Putin needs. Yeah, Putin needs someone to, give him some guts. Yeah, and that's why he hurried back. After he got the full support from Xi Jinping, he went back to Moscow and started to prepare the war. But one thing, I'm also convinced that is true, as some unconfirmed news said it, and that is Xi Jinping asked Putin, sure, I beg you full to start an invasion to Ukraine, but please don't do it before the end of Olympic Games. So the Winter Olympic ended the 20th of February. 3 days later, the 24th of February, the war started, full scale. Now, this is interesting. Which side did China or CCPs stand when the war started? Officially, they did not vote to condemn Russia in the Security Council of the United Nations. They did not vote against Russia in the General Assembly of the United Nations. In both cases, they voted blank. They stayed neutral, they say. Yeah? But this is only what they show the world. But in reality, if you look at the Chinese propaganda in the beginning of the war, yes, I can say that it's basically 80% for the war, for Russia, because he was thinking, like Putin told him probably, we will fix it in a few days. Yeah, and we all know what happened is it was partly expected that the West was quite united in condemning Russia. So many Western countries provide support, military support to Ukraine. And the Ukrainian people were also very determined to defend their homeland. So, and all this was unexpected by Putin. So the war did not end after a week. That's what Putin hoped for. And worst of all is, still there's no sign of winning the war for Putin either. So the stand of CCP and Xi Jinping also changed accordingly. Now, one thing you have to be aware of, that it is not that simple for CCP to take the side for Russia or Ukraine. Why? Because both Russia and Ukraine had been beneficial for CCP. Well, that Russia is beneficial, most people understand, because Russia is, you can say, the most powerful cooperator or partner, or what you call it, yeah, for China. But why Ukraine? Well, not everybody is aware. Ukraine, China has a lot of investment in Ukraine. Since the end of Soviet Union, they have had a very good relationship. And not only a normal trade relationship. After the fall of Soviet, China all the time was hungry to get access to modern weaponry. Yeah? But they cannot buy it from USA, they cannot buy it from France, from Germany, from England, and they could not even buy it from Russia. Remember, I told you in a previous episode that China and Russia will never be a strong alliance, never. They only work together when their interests are in common, okay? Nothing else. So, and interesting is, when China could not buy these weapons from anywhere, for example, aircraft carrier. I mean, there are not many countries in this world, only 4 countries, I think, who can make an aircraft carrier. Yeah? So even Russia say no to them when they wanted to buy Russian aircraft carrier. But after the fall of Soviet Union, there was a half-ready aircraft carrier made by the Soviet Union, but staying in Ukraine. So it belonged to Ukraine, and Ukraine sold it to China. And not only the aircraft carrier, they also sold some MiG jet fighters, yeah, which China also were hungry to get. The modern part, because from Russia they were only able to buy the older generation. Yeah? And not only that, according to even a Chinese propaganda film, they were saying, not now, it's a film, say, a few years ago, they were thanking the Ukrainian government and people how great they helped China to get access to modern technology of jet fighter. So they sold all the drawings to the CCP people. So, and today, Ukraine had also signed a lot of Belt and Road Initiative project with China. So, you see, if they take side with Russia, then, okay, they have a partner of Russia, they will strengthen the partnership of Russia, but they will lose Ukraine as a trading partner. And not only that, they will also lose a lot of goodwill from the West, because in Western world there are still too many people who may be naive, who may be too in wishful thinking, still want to maintain kind of a good trade relationship with China and all this. So if they took a clear stand for Russia, this would jeopardize their relationship to America and Western Europe and Japan and so on. Yeah, so there are a lot of things for them to think about. Now, what happened is, now there's still no clear sign that Russia is going to win. And you can see China, and in China, the propaganda also changes a little bit. Yeah? They are no longer just, supportive and hoorahing for a win of Russia. Yeah? Now they even stay more neutral outwards. Yeah? So because they are now preparing for maybe Russia even do not manage to win the war. And there's also another aspect. If Russia managed to win the war against Ukraine, then Xi Jinping and his people who love to dream about occupying, taking Taiwan, they will feel really strong. Look, Russia did that, we can do that too. Yeah, but now is a tricky thing because Russia. Unfortunately, Putin was not so good to set up the show. So it was no good example. So now Xi Jinping cannot use Ukraine as a kind of convincing example in reality that we can also manage to take Taiwan. I mean, to take Taiwan from the nature is already much more difficult than to take Ukraine. I said it before. And so this will put them even in a more difficult situation, and particularly within the top leadership of CCP, there are also people who are against the idea of taking Taiwan. Not strategically, they all agree to take Taiwan. Well, the question is only whether now or first in 10 years. Yeah, so they have their discussion. So and Xi Jinping want to do it pretty soon, maybe not tomorrow, but say within maybe only a couple of years. And the other want to wait for another 5-10 years. So don't think that the other are good guys. They have the same strategic goal, and that keep them together. But the tactical side, they are different in thinking. So as I used to remind you, the strategy of CCP in the last 40 years has been hide our strength and bide our time. And Xi Jinping and some other people think their time has come. So now is the time for us to show our muscle and take Taiwan and continue our dream of conquering the world. But some other people think our time is not there yet. Let's wait for another 5 years. Yeah. So no naive, wishful thinking. CCP's nature is they can only feel good when they control more. They control China, control Taiwan, control Hong Kong, control Southeast Asia, control Europe, control the whole world. So thank you for today. Bye-bye.